Imagine, for a moment, that the universe itself is whispering to you, revealing its deepest secrets not through words, but through symbols, not through chaos, but through patterns hidden in plain sight. What if I told you that one number echoes through the vaults of ancient temples and the chants of forgotten mystics, coursing beneath the surface of reality like a secret melody, the number 3? Why does the triangle, with its 3 points, crown the apex of pyramids that have stood for millennia? Why do the most enduring myths and religions speak in trinities: Father, Son, Holy Spirit? Mind, body, spirit, birth, life, death. Is it mere coincidence, or could there be a cosmic design, a code embedded in creation itself? Tonight, we will journey together into the mysterious realm of the number 3, a cipher so ancient and potent, it pulses at the heart of all things, the threefold paths of spiritual enlightenment, the triple gates of consciousness, the triads at the core of sacred geometry and divine proportion. But make no mistake, this is not a simple numerological quirk. The number 3 is not just the next step after 2, nor a random marker in the sequence of counting. It is a bridge, a portal, and a paradox, the threshold between the known and the unknown, the spark that brings opposites into harmony, and the pattern by which the universe itself seems to unfold. Why has the true meaning of the number 3 been hidden, encrypted within allegories and sacred texts read only by initiates? What happens if we dare to grasp its essence, to bring it into our lives? Will we discover the lost key to creation, or uncover truths too profound to utter? In this video, we'll unravel the secret legacy of the number 3, tracing its footprints across ancient wisdom, delving into the esoteric philosophies that guard its mysteries, and unearthing the practical keys that can unlock new dimensions of your consciousness. Prepare to see the world, perhaps even yourself, in a way you never have before, because once you glimpse the hidden truth of the number 3, reality itself might never look the same. Long before numbers became tools for accountants or mere conveniences for daily commerce, they were seen as living symbols, codes that whispered the secrets of the cosmos to those who could listen. In the dimly lit halls of ancient temples, priests, sages, and seekers contemplated not only what numbers could count, but what realities they could conjure. Let's travel back to the earliest chambers of human thought. In the primordial world of Sumer and Egypt, numbers were not human inventions, but divine gifts. The Egyptians honored the number 3 as a symbol of completeness. Trace it in the 3 pyramids of Giza, their spirits aligned with Orion's belt, reflecting a cosmic triad written into the very fabric of heaven and earth. The triangle was, and is, the simplest shape able to stand on its own, a sacred emblem of strength, stability, and unity of the divine. Consider the mysterious emerald tablet, attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, whose name itself means thrice great. This enigmatic text whispers of a world woven together in threes. That which is above is as that which is below, and that which is below is as that which is above, to accomplish the miracles of the one thing. The emerald tablet hints at 3 realms: the heavens, the earth, and the underworld, a triad shaping the ancient worldview. The Greeks made the number 3 the linchpin of their philosophy. Plato, in his Timaeus, describes the world soul as crafted from a mixture divided into 3, an echo of the triune nature of existence. Pythagoras, mystic mathematician and founder of a secretive brotherhood, taught that all things are in triad, the monad, dyad, and triad, representing unity, duality, and ultimately, the creative principle that binds opposites and births multiplicity. Throughout history, the number 3 dances at the heart of myth, religion, and philosophy. Hinduism unfurls the Trimurti, Brahma the creator, Vishnu the preserver, Shiva the destroyer, an endless cycle of transformation needed for cosmic balance. In Christianity, the Holy Trinity forms the core of spiritual dogma. In Taoist texts, the Tao gives birth to 1, 1 gives birth to 2, 2 gives birth to 3. From 3, all things are born. Why? Because 3 is the dynamic force, the sacred catalyzer, the birth of the many from the unity and duality. But why is this recurring pattern so often shrouded in allegory and hidden behind layers of secrecy? The answer lies deep within the mysterious veil that surrounds spiritual knowledge. For millennia, initiates guarded these truths, understanding that to wield the power of the number 3 is to wield the power of creation and destruction, of synthesis and transcendence, a force too great for the unprepared. Many who glimpsed this truth were labeled heretics or madmen, their teachings suppressed, their symbols encrypted in art, architecture, and myth. The number 3 was concealed not to limit us, but to protect us from misunderstandings, to prevent a world obsessed with binaries black and white, good and evil, from missing the liberating truth. The third path, the alchemical marriage, the philosopher's stone of consciousness. As time marched forward and humanity lost touch with its sacred roots, the deeper wisdom of 3 receded into the background, reduced to a quirk of storytelling, a motif in art, a curiosity in geometry. But the echoes persist, waiting for those with eyes to see and ears to hear. Today, if you look closely beyond the surface, you will feel it, the subtle pulse that connects ancient wisdom with the mysteries unfolding in your own life story. Let us imagine, now, the beginning not just of the world, but of existence itself. In the silence before creation, there is only the one, unbroken, undivided, unknowable. This is pure potential, the seed before the sprout. But in order to witness itself, the one must be mirrored thus. From the one emerges the two, the primal duality, the dance of opposites, light and dark, day and night, self and other. Yet, in this binary, all is tension, separation without synthesis, motion without meaning. Here, the number 3 makes its entrance not as an afterthought, but as the essential catalyst. The third is the bridge, the conciliator, the divine harmonizer. It is the child born from the union of opposites, the point where the circle closes and reality becomes dynamic. Consider a thread stretching between 2 points. Taut, oppositional, it can vibrate but cannot sing. The third point, placed just so, turns the line into a triangle, and the triangle into a vessel, a shape unable to collapse, a symbol that holds space. This is why the triangle appears in mystical traditions across the world. It is the map of manifestation, the secret of sustainability. In Kabbalah, the tree of life is structured by triads, 3 columns balancing mercy, severity, and harmony. Each triad is both a challenge and a solution. In climbing from one sphere to another, the mystic learns not just to balance opposites, but to transcend them. For alchemists, solve et coagula, to dissolve and rejoin, demands a third principle, a mediator through which transformation occurs. Lead and gold, body and spirit. Without the third, there is no alchemical wedding, no philosopher's stone. Across the ages, myth and story have encoded this hidden law. The hero's journey, as told by Joseph Campbell, is not a linear path, but a trifold dance: departure, initiation, return. Each stage is essential. Remove one, and the story collapses. In fairy tales, challenges are presented threefold: 3 wishes, 3 trials, 3 days in the belly of the whale. The pattern is more than convention. It is a reflection of the soul's secret structure, a call, a passage, and a return, forever spiraling toward higher truth. Take a moment to reflect. Where does the number 3 appear in your own life? Perhaps in the phases of your day: morning, afternoon, evening. Perhaps in your own emotional cycles: anticipation, encounter, integration. Beneath each, the wisdom of 3 is at work, inviting you to move beyond mere opposition, to dance with polarity, to create from the tension a new and vital third thing. But beware, this triadic pattern is subtle. To truly see it, you must train your inner vision. The world insists on forcing us into dualities: us versus them, right versus wrong, have versus have not. The wisdom of 3 invites you to ask, what lies beyond the tyranny of 2s? What higher synthesis is possible if I look deeper, if I dare to unite rather than divide? Like a hidden current in a deep river, the number 3 flows unseen, shaping events from the shadows. It is no accident that pyramids endure for ages, while rectangles and towers crumble. It is no error that in meditation we seek to harmonize body, mind, and soul, not merely to balance a pair of scales, but to transcend the very need for weighing. Those who learn to read this pattern gain access to the secret grammar of the universe. They see that nothing truly begins or ends, but instead circles through birth, growth, and death, creation, preservation, and dissolution. Or, as the ancient Sufis say, the path opens, the path widens, the path returns. But what of the deeper mysteries? What paradoxes and hidden meanings lie sleeping beneath this sacred geometry? And is it possible that, in our quest to uncover the number 3, we may stumble upon secrets that challenge the very core of what we think we know. Let us now step even deeper into the sanctum within the sanctum, where the number 3 grants not only structure but points toward the infinite, where paradox lives and primal truths spiral endlessly. Recall the Great Pyramids, each side facing a cardinal direction, 3 faces rising to the heavens from any vantage. Even in their silent stillness, the stones murmur an ancient equation. Stability exists only in 3 dimensions, and mystery is solved only through a third perspective. In sacred geometry, the vesica piscis formed by the interlocking of 2 circles gives birth to a third, almond-shaped space at the center, the root symbol of creation, the portal through which divinity steps into manifestation. How often we, too, become locked in an endless duel caught between head and heart, body and soul, logic and mystery. Much of human suffering, esoteric traditions warn, arises from an inability to leap from duality to synthesis, from 2 to 3. But 3 is not a compromise, it is transmutation, the leap from static battle to dynamic harmony, where both truths can exist within a greater whole. The ancient Taoists saw this so clearly. 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 3, 3 becomes all things. Each new level is not just accumulation, but a qualitative leap, a new octave, a new flavor of reality. In Buddhist philosophy, wisdom emerges not just from opposites but from their reconciliation, emptiness, form, and the dance between. This is why the triple jewels, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, are seen as the living foundation of liberation. Perhaps even more astonishing are the patterns in nature. The triangle is the only stable structure among all polygons, used by the cosmos in everything from carbon molecules to the branching veins of a leaf. Your very DNA twines in a double helix, but its code is composed of triplets, trinucleotide sequences spelling out the language of life. Physics, too, whispers the pattern in its timeless trinity: energy, frequency, vibration. Yet, for all its ubiquity, the number 3 is shrouded in distortion and myth. Some fear its power, seeing threefold as ominous, linking it to the superstitions of bad things coming in threes. Others focus only on the surface, the third time's a charm. 3 is lucky without seeking the deeper alchemy beneath. And so, in the corridors of secret societies, the number 3 became a test, a cipher for discerning the awake from the asleep. Freemasonry speaks of 3 pillars: wisdom, strength, beauty. Alchemy hides its operations in 3 stages: nigredo, albedo, rubedo. Even the tarot card, the Empress, card number 3, represents not just creativity, but the mysterious union of spirit and matter to birth something wholly new. But what if we dare to go further? What if we regard the number 3 not as a static law, but a living invitation, a challenge from the cosmos to transcend our rigid models and step into the unpredictable, the generative? Here lies the paradox. 3 points can define a plane, but from those 3 points, every conceivable shape and path may unfold. The power of 3 is not limitation but multiplication, an explosion of creative possibility from the sacred marriage of opposites. It is the quantum leap, the third thing that cannot be anticipated but only glimpsed through intuition and surrender. This, perhaps, is why so many have missed the hidden truth. They saw trinities, triangles, triptychs everywhere, but mistook the sign for the secret. The number 3 is not simply a relic or symbol, it is the engine behind evolution, the rhythm of every cycle, the invitation into the next great spiral of consciousness. So, ask yourself, where do you sit poised between apparent opposites? What third possibility is waiting to be born through you, if only you will step beyond the comfort of black and white? What can you create, reconcile, or imagine if you dare to walk the mysterious path of 3? Now, let's transform our journey from the realms of myth and symbol into living, breathing reality. For spiritual wisdom is never meant to gather dust in forgotten temples, it yearns to ignite within your daily life, to awaken hidden forces in your heart and mind. So, how can you harness the mysterious power of 3? 1. Meditate with the triad. Begin by crafting a daily ritual of triadic mindfulness. Set aside a quiet moment. Close your eyes and picture in your mind's eye a triangle, 1 point above, 2 below, hovering before you. See each point as a fundamental aspect of your being: body, mind, spirit. As you inhale, focus on your body, its sensations, its grounding solidity. As you hold, shift your awareness to your mind, thoughts flickering like candle flames. As you exhale, let your consciousness rise to the spirit, your intuition, imagination, soul. Move your focus through the 3 points, breathing evenly, until you feel them merge in the center of the triangle, a fusion, an awakening of wholeness. Repeat for 9 breaths, 3 times 3, and open your eyes. You may find new clarity, a gentle harmony weaving through your day. 2. The triple reflection exercise. When faced with choices, conflicts, or emotional tension, don't accept a binary dilemma. Ask yourself, what is the third path? Stand apart from the tug of war between this or that. Could there be a third perspective, a synthesis waiting to be seen? For example, if 2 desires clash within you, rest and ambition, what is the creative third way that honors both? Journal your answers and look for patterns. Over time, you will notice a hidden intelligence at play, guiding you toward unexpected solutions. 3. Chants and sacred sounds. The sound Om, revered in Hindu traditions, is a triadic vibration. A, U, and M represent creation, preservation, and dissolution. Chanting AUM, feeling each syllable resonate through your chest, throat, and head, can attune you to the universal triad. Use this as a daily practice, especially at dawn or dusk, to realign with nature's own rhythms. 4. Create intentional triads. Arrange your physical space to reflect the power of 3. Place 3 meaningful objects, crystals, candles, sacred images on your altar or work desk, forming a triangle. Assign each an intention, perhaps one for inspiration, one for protection, one for gratitude. Each time you pass by, pause and attune yourself to the balanced flow. Overcoming obstacles. Almost inevitably, resistance will arise. The modern world glorifies simplicity and quick answers. Pick a side. Our culture craves binaries and rushes the process, skipping the labor of synthesis. But real transformation requires patience, subtle listening, and a willingness to dwell in the mystery until a third path becomes clear. You may also feel skepticism from within or without, the rational mind dismissing too mystical, or the fear of letting go of control. Remember, the number 3, in its truest sense, is not about dogma or superstition, but about healing division and inviting wholeness. Bringing it all together. Set an intention for 1 week. Each morning, affirm, I am open to the wisdom of 3, I see beyond opposites, I welcome synthesis and creative solutions. Observe what emerges. Notice how life itself, when seen through the eyes of 3, offers gifts of unity, healing, and renewed purpose. The secrets of the number 3 do not belong to the past. They are alive in you, waiting to be discovered anew every day. From forgotten temples etched by the desert winds to the silent chambers of your own heart, the number 3 pulses like a subtle drumbeat, a call to awaken to the deeper laws of reality. We've followed its winding path, from ancient pyres and sacred texts, through philosophical labyrinths, into the shimmering, practical arts of transformation. Beneath it all, the number 3 has revealed itself not as a relic of the past, but as a living power, one that bridges, creates, and endlessly renews. If there is any hidden truth more profound than the rest, it is this: the number 3 is never merely a numeral. It is an invitation to see with the eyes of a mystic, to perceive life in spirals, not lines, to find wholeness where others see only parts, to embrace paradox until it yields a new and higher synthesis. Whether you meditate with a simple triangle, harmonize the triad of body, mind, and spirit, or seek the third path in the face of daily dilemmas, you are echoing an ageless wisdom that has shaped humanity's highest aspirations since the dawn of time. So ask yourself, as you carry this knowledge into tomorrow, where will you find the power of 3 awakening in your own journey? What new creation, reconciliation, or understanding waits for you, just beyond the dualities the world insists upon? If you felt even a flicker of insight tonight, let this be the beginning of your own spiral, a journey not just of knowledge, but of lived mystery. Share your reflections in the comments below. Where have trinities surfaced in your life? Which of these practices are you inspired to try? And if this secret has touched something deep within, subscribe and return. There are many more keys waiting in the darkness. The universe, it seems, counts differently than we were taught, and perhaps, as you move forward, you'll recognize its hidden logic not in the clutter of many, but in the harmony of 3. Until next time, walk the third path and let the mystery unfold.